Dr. Elena Vasquez pressed her palms against the cold metal of the radio telescope's control panel, her breath forming small clouds in the frigid night air of the Atacama Desert. The massive dish had been tracking the anomalous signal for 3 days now, a complex mathematical sequence embedded in quantum-encrypted subspace transmissions that defied every known principle of physics. "It's not random," she muttered, watching the data cascade across her screens. "There's a pattern here, but it's like trying to read a language written in dimensions we can't perceive." Her colleague, Dr. James Chen, looked up from his own workstation with exhausted eyes. "Elena, we've been over this. The signal is clearly artificial, but it's not directed at Earth. Hell, it's barely intersecting our solar system. We're just catching the overflow." The transmission had first been detected by the European Space Agency's Deep Space Monitoring Array, a faint whisper of organized information threading through the cosmic background radiation. Within hours, every major observatory on Earth had turned their instruments toward the source, a point in space that seemed to exist between the spaces themselves. "Look at this," Elena said, pulling up the latest analysis. "The signal isn't just complex, it's responsive. Every time we've attempted to decode a segment, the next transmission has been slightly different, as if something is adjusting the parameters." "Or," Chen said grimly, as if something noticed we were listening. The breakthrough came at 3:47 GMT, when Dr. Sarah Okafor, at the MIT Haystack Radio Observatory, managed to isolate a single repeating element within the vast data stream. It was elegant in its simplicity, a mathematical proof demonstrating the relationship between quantum entanglement and gravitational waves, but expressed in a notation system that incorporated 17-dimensional calculus. "My God," Okafor whispered over the encrypted conference call connecting observatories across 6 continents. "This isn't just alien technology. This is technology from something that thinks in ways we can barely comprehend." The decision to respond came from Dr. Vasquez herself, against protocols, against the explicit orders of her department head, and against every instinct screaming that humanity wasn't ready for this contact. She uploaded their own mathematical response into the transmission array. The answer came back in 14 seconds. But it wasn't the original sender who replied. The new signal burst through space with the fury of a newborn star, overwhelming every receiver on Earth with its intensity. When the static cleared, the message was unmistakable and terrifying in its simplicity. Translated through quantum linguistic algorithms, it read, IDENTEIF YURU SALFF THIS CHANNELISRE ETRICT EDTOR UTHORIZ EDEENTIT. Dr. Chen stared at the translation, his face pale. "Elena, what have you done?" Before she could answer, a second transmission arrived, this one even more powerful than the first. The message was longer, more complex, and when decoded, it sent chills through every scientist monitoring the channel. SCANNING ECANNING SPECIESCLASSIF ICTIONHUMAN TECHNOLOG ICALLEVEEEP RIMIT AUTHORIZATIONSTATUSNONE YUHAVEEEITEEETTED YAEG UARD IANSACOMM UNIC TIIO THISISA CLASS7V IOLAT IONOFC EOAU SEIVAAONLA. Guardians? Elena whispered. The third transmission answered her unspoken question. THEQUARANTINAPERIMETEERI UNDSYSTEMSO L3EKSA INIT IAT ING CONT AINM EA ET ERO TOL SE. Around the world, radio telescopes began registering new contacts. Massive objects, each the size of Jupiter, were decloaking at the edge of the solar system. They moved with purpose, taking up positions that formed a perfect geometric pattern around the sun. Dr. Okafor's voice crackled through the speakers. Elena, we're detecting something. Impossible. These objects, they're not just ships. They're alive. Biological structures larger than gas giants. And they're communicating with each other through quantum entanglement networks. The fourth transmission was different. Instead of the cold, clinical tone of the previous messages, this one carried something that might have been curiosity. UMANELAEANAMANA, DASQ, UEZOFEEEAU, SOEADO, EAE, AO, EO3C, YURSPA, ECIES, WASENOT, CHAD, ULAD, FOR, CONT, ACT, EVIU, TIONFORA, NOT, HEO, OUYIAR, YET, YUHAV, EDEEMO, and STRATEDCAP, a BILIT, YTEERP, ERAI, ETUAA, EXPLAIN. Elena's hands shook as she typed her response. What could she possibly say to beings that treated star systems like classified documents, that humanity had stumbled into their conversation by accident? Instead, she chose honesty. We detected your signal by chance. We didn't know it was restricted. We're just curious. We want to understand the universe around us. The pause lasted 6 minutes and 37 seconds. When the response came, it carried something Elena hadn't expected, what sounded almost like amusement. CURIOSITY. A DANGEROUS TRAIT INPRIMIT IVES PECIE TEHEUORIG INALTRA INSSIONEYU EUEEEET EDDDW ASAW EARNI NGTOA LLLU array EDU UUEE SHASAW AKE END INT AUD WEHAV EB EEE ERING DE FAE SF ORT HREE MILIONOL IA OR IOIA. The implications hit Elena like a physical blow. The signal hadn't been casual communication. It had been a galaxy-wide military alert about something so dangerous that beings capable of building living space stations the size of planets were afraid of it. BYRESPONDINGTOOURT RANSEAUAMAIH USADEMO NEUSTA E8A E8A EDA EUA AAE EACA COL THISP RESENTS. ANUNPRECEDENTEDESITUATION. More transmissions followed, these between the guardian entities themselves, conducted in mathematical languages so advanced that Earth's computers could only translate fragments. What they could understand was troubling: debates about contamination protocols, premature species integration, and something called emergency uplift procedures. Finally, a direct message arrived for Earth: UMA NSO FSOL3. YURSPE CIE ESHASFOR CEDOURHA ND THEQUARANT INAC ANOTB EMAI INT ANADEA EOWTHAT YOUHAVEMA DDC ONT ACT YUWILLBEGIVENA CHOICE. Elena found herself speaking for all of humanity. What choice? IEUMTEOTHEACHEGALACTEAUEAUENSUILAURIU UAEAONEEONTEECEALOG As Dr. Elena Vasquez stared at the screen, she realized that her moment of curiosity, her simple decision to answer a signal that wasn't meant for them, had just forced humanity to grow up 1,000,000 years ahead of schedule. The universe, it seemed, didn't much care whether they were ready or not. The next transmission was brief: YUHAVEESA VEENT YTWOOF YUURHO URISTODEC IDE CHOOSAWISELY.